believe they targeted these children specifically from a shelter because they were black, forcing them to work as slaves.
Being charged with a felony, child neglect, creating risk of injury.
The two children were being locked in a barn at this home on Cheyenne Lane in Sissonville.
They weren't able to locate any guardians or parental figures or anybody around the residence or the barn, and started having a conversation with two children that were inside the barn.
Deputies eventually forced their way into the barn, where they said they found a 16-year-old girl and 14-year-old boy inside a 20 by 14-foot room. Investigators say the teens had no way to get out of the shed, with no running water, no bathroom. The girl told deputies their parents had brought them food around 6 o'clock that morning, but said her and her brother weren't allowed in the house and were locked in the barn for long periods every day. Eyewitness News spoke to neighbors who were afraid to go on camera, but claimed multiple families called police about the children's safety several times, and they are thankful they are now safe.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty bad case. I mean, it's you know, in any type of situation like this, it's not really comparable. A horrific condition, like, it's just not how you want or how you would even expect children to be raised or been taken care of.
Lance and Whitefeather eventually showed up at the home. They're now charged with child neglect, creating substantial risk of injury. The mother admitted the children were left in the shed, but reportedly told deputies they, quote, liked it.
They're trying to, you know, get the children back in better living conditions, better placement, and the detectives will continue to investigate and build this case.
And deputies said a third child, who was about 5 or 6 years old, was found alone in the main home. Now, the child was found crying and close to the railing of an approximately 15-foot drop from a loft.
The bond was initially set at $200,000 cash, and they were both able to post it. Prosecutors have said in a new complaint for forfeiture, the couple sold a $725,000 80-acre ranch in Washington state and sold their Sissonville home to post bond. And they believe both of these properties were paid for through trafficking. That will be decided in a separate court matter, but because of this, prosecutors say they found discrepancies in the financial affidavit Lance filled out for a court-appointed attorney, leading to a new charge on his indictment.
Ladies and gentlemen, how crazy is this case, man? Look, we just had Juneteenth, and if you guys don't know what Juneteenth is by now, that's basically the date when the last slaves were let go, supposedly. You know what I mean? The thing is, we look at where we came from 1865 to 2024. It is remarkable that I can get up here on this camera and basically say little black children were used as slaves, kept in a barn all day long, 8 minimum in the day, and actually have the ability to even say that in 2024. These evil motherfuckers had these babies in the barn, and they preyed on them. They specifically went to that adoption agency, and the thing about it is, it's like, what? You guys allow white people to take in 3 young black children. I would think that the background check will be extensive. I will think that you will have to have some type of inside reference to these 2 individuals before they take in these 3 black young children. Now, I know you guys are going to go in the comment section and give your thoughts, and I want you to, man, but it just doesn't sit right with me on what I just heard, what you guys just heard when you clicked on this video. And welcome to Inside the Culture Podcast. I am your host, Dutch the Creator, and man, woo, just imagine you being that little kid in that barn and you thinking that you're gonna come home to a new home, and you know these people who just adopted you is gonna take care of you, and then you come to their elaborate house, because as you guys seen, they had other properties that they sold to get bond, and we're gonna hit on that for a second too in a minute. But you're this little child and you think you're going to come to this great home and these people are going to take care of you, and then they march you to a barn and tell you to stay there, tell you to be there. It's hot as shit outside right now, and y'all had no running water there, y'all had nothing in there to take care of these kids in a barn, treating them like slaves, probably having them do slave work. And that's amazing that this can happen in 2024. Even the cop that was talking, he sounded so nonchalant, like, yeah, it's wrong. Yeah, I just wouldn't, it's crazy how you can put kids in this situation. Dude didn't even have any compassion. Imagine you being a cop and you come upon this and you're on the news and you're talking about this. I wouldn't be able to even get words out. This guy was just straight on robotic and just, I don't care. Now you can understand what's going on around that town. You see? He probably just like, damn, they got caught. It's crazy, but they got caught. And let's get to this bond. Why even have a bond to where they could bond out? And like they said, they're probably using trafficking money to bond out. You gotta look at the money trail. I'm sure they got resources to see where they're getting this money from. And at the end of the day, why even give them a bail? So they sold 2 other properties that it looked like they in it. They pretty wealthy. They sold 2 other properties. Now they're going to be out on bond, where they can squander up some more money from somewhere else and leave the country illegally. You see? That's what I'm talking about, man. Why even give them a bond? It is crazy. My little brother was 15 years old when he went to prison for second-degree murder, right? He did 13 years from a 40-year sentence. They did not give him bond. At 15, he was 15 years old. They did not give him any bond, you see? And they didn't have any facts of anything yet. The thing was, it was just up in the air. You had to have this trial. They did not give him a bond. He was bondless at 15 years old. So you tell me, and I'm not even going to, okay, just say, you know, yeah, don't give the 15-year-old a bond, but why give them a bond to where they can bond out? And that's exactly what they did. These people don't care about these children. I told you guys, I am a child's advocate. I am. I have 3 children of my own. I look at little boys and try to, you know, want to help them, man. Little black boys, that's what I want to do in life. I want to be some type of mentor. I want to start a mentor program. I was just talking to my woman about that this morning. I'm like, you know, she was like, what do you ultimately want to do? I said, I think I want to start a mentorship program for these young black boys. Definitely not put them in the barn and have them starving all day long. This is wow, man. This is beyond our culture. This is when it affects our culture, because it's a lot of black men and women out there who working hard and can't have kids, who's working hard and keep getting denied and denied and denied based on the most minuscule part of their lives, something that went on 10 years ago that they probably didn't have any control over. The reason why they having hard time adopting little black children. I know of a couple of those people who are good people, great people, who just want a child, want to bring a child into their world, want to raise that child, want to do good for the culture, but they get the runaround. And if you're one of those people, please go down in the comment section and tell me your story on how it is so difficult for you as a black man or a black woman or a black couple to adopt children. But they're just going to give these little black children to these white folks. And that is what happened. Y'all go down in the comment section and tell me what you think of this. This case just made me really mad. And those kids are going to be traumatized, man. And luckily for the 5-year-old, they probably can forget it, but it will show up subconsciously. Trauma shows up subconsciously in us, people, when we don't even remember it. That's all I got. This has been Inside the Culture Podcast. I appreciate you guys coming to the video. And if you're finding my channel for the very first time, please make sure that you hit that like button so someone else can find the content. And some videos just popped up on your screen right now to go more in depth in Inside the Culture Podcast. Peace. Y'all be safe and stay unplugged from false narratives. I'm out.